Hello and welcome. This video is a speeded up version of me making this doodle on craft paper using two Liquitex paint markers. One is fluorescent red and the other is titanium white, and two Rotring Isographs. One is 1mm and the other is 0.5. So I started off by drawing a border in the 1mm technical pen, and then I filled in some circles in the white and the red Liquitex paint marker. You can see that the first layer is a little bit uneven, so I added a second and then a third layer just to the white. Moving on to the doodle itself, I started off by creating rivers or ropes using the 1mm technical pen, and then I was left with the paper segmented into several parts. In each of these parts, I doodled more or less a similar design that I like to use a lot. I like to mix it up in terms of the directions that the lines are going, in terms of using dots or lines or blocks of ink, using longer lines and shorter lines, rounder lines or straighter lines, and I think that just by mixing it up as I go along, the doodle has a sort of noisy and fun and multi-directional look to it, and I kept going until I filled in all of the areas. This is different from other doodles I made using the paint markers and the technical pens because rather than accentuating the borders of the paint marker, I use the paint marker as a background rather than as something that the doodle is upon or around. So I thought this was an interesting experiment, and as I was making it, I thought to myself, I could actually make a doodle on white paper and then using Photoshop apply a different background to that doodle. But I don't feel comfortable yet to work directly in a digital medium. I enjoy a lot more working with the tactile medium of paper, paint, marker, and pen and ink. This is a page in a sketchbook with 38 pages. It's A5 size, and in each of these pages I used these exact pens. By doing that, I felt I gained so much focus rather than picking up the sketchbook and not knowing what color I want to use, if I want to use colors at all, and what style I want the doodle or the drawing to be in. The fact that I used the exact same pens and colors allowed me to focus on a more limited set of options, and that allowed me to keep going a lot faster. So I'm really happy I took this sketchbook, this 38-page sketchbook, and dedicated it to these two colors and to the black technical pen. And I think once I finish the sketchbook, I might get another one and dedicate a different set of colors and a different set of ideas to that next sketchbook. This doodle took about an hour and a half to complete. The paint marker doesn't take too long to dry. It takes maybe a minute or maybe a little bit less or more than that. By the time I'm done laying down one layer, it's usually already time and possible to lay down the next layer. When I doodle with a technical pen over the paint marker, it's like doodling on plastic. The plastic of the paint marker doesn't absorb the moisture of the technical pen ink, so it dries a little bit more slowly, so you have to be a little bit more careful in terms of smearing the ink because it won't dry as fast as it does on paper, which is absorbent. This is the finished doodle. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know in the comments what you'd like me to show next and what you thought of this doodle. If you enjoyed watching, leave a thumbs up for this video and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so, and I will see you next time.